I was talking to Chuck, that's Chuck Bomarito of Outside Screwball, about the stylus for this thing being made out of drill rod, and this drill rod is hardened. And I was going to told him I figured that I would have to anneal the stuff. He says, why don't you just use your D-bit grinder? And I thought, well, yeah, what the heck did I buy all those inch-sized collets for? There you go. You want a good idea? Go see Chuck. Okay, so what we're going to do is try to grind this little guy here down to 1/8 of an inch. And the best way to do that, I guess, is to get started at it and work up to it. I'm not sure of all the ins and outs of using this guy for that, but I have a feeling we'll come to know what we're doing before it's over. Alright, so let's turn it on. Okay. This removes the lock. Alright, now it's going. This looks to be the game right here. Okay. Now. So I'll measure it out on the end, and I'll measure it back close. 0.222, 0.216. Yeah, it's tapered a little this way, and I want it straight, so I'm going to have to readjust it a little bit. What we want is 1/8 of an inch. This is one of the letters that James Plow designed for me, and I printed it out. And we're going to have to make something to hold it. See those little angles? That'll help it hold into a stand of some sort, and I'm going to have to build that after I get this piece done. Okay, so we're down to 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch where I come from. And I'm going to round this end off just a little bit. That'll make it smoother, I think. Alright, that feels smooth. Now the drawing shows a taper from there back, so I suppose I should try that once I figure out how to get it positioned. I'm a total amateur with this grinder. I didn't make a ball on the end of it, but I did get it with the taper, and it's the right size, 1/8 of an inch. So that'll fit the letters that I've got. Alright, now then I'll see how to hook this on to the pantograph, and then we've got to make some sort of a little holder for the letters so I can lay them out beside each other and form whatever I want to write. So that's still cooking in my head. I have owned that dovetail cutter since the 1970s, and it's the first time it's ever cut anything, and it's imitation metal. Okay, here is our letter holding device, and it's really plain. It's made from a piece of a crate that I received something in, and it's not going to get a bunch of polish and staining and stuff like that. The only thing it's going to get is a little bar to come across here and hold the letter still. Excuse me. Now I know if Mark Pressing down in Australia did this, this would be made out of some kind of rare kookaburra wood. Randy Richard would probably use teak or mahogany. Tom Lipton, he'd like to just not make it from brass or titanium or something. So, but you guys are stuck with the low rent channel here, and it's going to be just plain old leftover wood from a crate. Alright folks, there's the alphabet according to James Clough, other than some letters that I've removed to use. And there is the object of our affections. That's what we're making. It's put together. All it needs is some air and a cutter bit stuck in it. But it's getting late, and I'm going to knock off for the day, so we'll continue this tomorrow. Okay, so that's what she looks like set up. Now I'm going to move you guys over to where you can see what I'm engraving. Alright? Now I think you can see this. I haven't done this any more times than you have, so we're going to just do the best we can here. Let's try to touch this little bugger up. That was a preliminary attempt. Now, nothing shuts off the top. Okay, so there's the setup. That's the letters. They're in this dovetail groove, held in place by a clamp on each side. And put my metal over there. Now, the first time I tried it, I came out with that right there, which wasn't what I wanted. The last time I tried it, I came out with that right there. Not sure if you can see that or not. Let me do something to make it more visible. There we go. Now you can see the letters. The whole secret's in learning how to set it up before you start cutting the letters. Those are straight and level. And I need a different cutter. I'm using a burr, pointed burr, and it doesn't cut real well on the end. It did a whole lot better the first time around. I think that dulled it out or filled it with aluminum or something. So Chuck says I need to make myself a cutter on the D-bit grinder, and I think he's probably right. But I'll have to get some 1/8" drill rod to do that with, and I don't have any right now. So I'm going to pick up whatever I've got and try to make it like that. But as you can see, I would say it's a success. The letters are straight and they're legible, and as I get a better cutter, they'll be wider, you know. So there you go. I'm cutting it right now with a sort of a pin-pointed end. You take a look at that. That's what I'm cutting the letters with right there. And that's not the best. Alright, so let's go and see what Bubba or Boudreaux or Ole or somebody's doing.
Well, it seems like Bubba's uncle, third uncle Bubba, not to say that he had the number 3 of his uncles, but it was a third uncle that was named Bubba. That ought to be pretty clear. Anyway, they didn't use a lot of names in Bubba's family once they found a good one. Anyhow, Uncle Bubba went to the doctor because he wasn't feeling too good, and the doctor says, well, he says, Bubba, if you'd have come in a year ago, I might could have done something, but as it is, he says, you're going to be lucky to last out the week. So Bubba goes home, Uncle Bubba does, and tells his wife, Elvira, the news from the doctor. And so she said, well, Bubba, just sit down there in your easy chair and take it easy, and I'm going to be in the kitchen. So she goes in the kitchen, and starts cooking up some cookies, baking them up, whatever you do. And anyway, so he got to smelling that, and he thought, boy, he said, Elvira, she must really love me. So he gets up and wanders off into the kitchen because there she is making his favorite cookies, And Bubba reaches out, grabs one of those cookies. She slaps his hand and says, stop that, Bubba. Them's for the funeral.